Today's episode of Nerd Soup is sponsored by Skillshare. Skillshare is a great place for anyone looking to start their career in online content creation. They are home to thousands of courses and a multitude of classes that range from graphic design, animation, video editing, photography, and much more. I don't know what you specialize in, only you do, but I can guarantee no matter what it is, Skillshare has a course for you. And it's also great for veteran creators who are looking to hone their skills. Skillshare's courses are taught by real-life professionals and creators who share their knowledge and experiences through easy-to-follow tutorials. Take this course, for example. YouTube Success, Script, Shoot, and Edit, taught by one of my favorite YouTubers, Marquez Brownlee. In this course, MKBHD will show you how he started his channel simply from his mother's basement, how he plans and shoots and records his videos, and how he became one of the most successful YouTubers on the planet. And remember, the first 1,000 people to use this link will get a free trial of Skillshare Premium. So don't wait, be one of the first 1,000 people. And look at that, Nerd Soup giving you free stuff, helping you learn things. That's what we do here. Big episode.
Yeah, dude. Huge.
You didn't watch, did you?
Yeah. I didn't.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Nerd Soup. I am Beau Oliver, joined here today with Aaron, the Nerd Soup Monkey, and Teddy, and we are back to review Captain Falcon, the Falcon and the Winter Soldier, episode 4. The whole world is watching. Unfortunately, for John Walker at the end there.
Yeah, man.
It's the age of cell phones, man. That happens in the 70s. That's just getting swept under the rug.
He needs the...
I'm sure it's still going to be swept under the rug in 2021.
Oh, they'll spin it.
Yeah, 2023.
He needs the social media team that the boys have.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Well, that's what it... Yeah, I think it reminded a lot of people of that incident in the early The Boys Season 2 when Homelander kills that bystander. A little different, but shades of Homelander, definitely, in this episode. With what John Walker did.
Yeah, that was a beautiful shot, too, at the end, with the bloody Captain America shield.
Right,
savage, bro. It was like, oh!
That shield has kind of just changed forever, the perception of the shield.
Right.
And what it stands for.
Obviously, Cap's killed before, the real Cap, but this was a totally different, defenseless person and just basically murder in front of everybody. So
Cap's killing Nazis, though. I mean, look at these guys. No terrorists here and there. Nothing crazy.
Yeah, but I think even if Cap had, like, someone from Hydra in that position, he wouldn't just brutally murder him, especially with
arrest him.
The whole world watching. So
right, yeah, he's killing out of necessity. This was personal.
Yeah.
You could have taken this man in, questioned him, gotten more information out of him, but because of what happens to his best friend, Lamar Hoskins, he just takes matters into his own hands.
He's also feeling this power for the first time. The serum.
Right, yeah, no, it was
So
a
he doesn't know
bad
how to handle
combination of losing your friend and also taking the serum that heightens all of your emotions.
That was such a change. That was such a turn that I wasn't ready for. I thought him and Lamar had that talk, and John Walker was relatively a good guy up to that point. He had good intentions. He's a good man. And they even say it's like if you have good, the serum will just bring out whatever is in you.
we had a lot of insecurities, I think, especially what we saw.
Yeah, you got babied, though. That didn't help either.
Yeah, but just of him, like, taking up the mantle. I think he had a lot of insecurities, and I think all that, and then seeing his best friend die in front of him just snapped something in him. And probably something that was always there, but it really came out in that moment. And maybe that was just buried deep down, and the serum really pushed it out of him. He did take the serum. That was when Falcon looks at him and is like, oh, shit.
Even that guy, when he bends the pipe.
Are you taking the serum?
Like, oh, me?
Yeah.
You saw in this episode what would have happened if you take the serum. Well, if I took the serum.
You would kill someone?
I wouldn't. I don't think I'd kill somebody.
One of us got killed, you would just be out for blood.
Yeah, I got you guys.
I wouldn't take it because I feel like there's so many, like, I would just do, I wouldn't change. I would just do what I'm doing now. I wouldn't save the world or anything. So I'd give it to someone who would bear that responsibility.
Isn't this show doing a great job? This show is very, or at least Marvel itself is
Joe Biden
really grounding itself, because me and you had a conversation through text, and like Black Widow would have just survived that, and he actually dies. Well, I mean, we think he dies.
Yeah, no, he's definitely dead.
He's gotta be
Lamar
dead, right?
Hoskins hit. He jumps in to save his friend. I mean, they were trying to kill Captain America. That's, you see the power of Karli Morgenthau. When someone's on this serum and they don't hold back, one hit will kill you. He gets impaled, and in another show or in another movie, you just kind of walk that off. You know, how many times has Black Widow been tossed like that? Just tossed by Thanos and just kind of just was limping. No, like, this is, we mentioned it on the previous review, it's the dark side of superheroism, and they do that by incorporating realism. And it was sad to see, but very impressive from a storytelling standpoint.
Yeah, I think this is definitely the strongest episode of the season. And I don't know. I kind of feel like we only have 2 left. That feels weird to me for some reason.
Is that a fact?
Yeah.
Yeah, one of the
episodes.
producers said episode 5 is going to be going to be their best episode so far. So they've been on an upward trend. That's the thing. It's a movie, and they keep cutting it. But this was the best part of the movie so far because this is where things are going to change now. Because even in the preview, when John Walker tells Bucky and Sam, "You don't want to do this," and Bucky's like, "No, we do." It's been coming to this point,
right?
But yeah, no, I wish there were 8 episodes, especially after this one, because it was so good.
I tweeted out
anyone feeling ambivalent towards the show after this episode. I think for a lot of people, the sentiments online were, okay, I'm on board now. I'm invested in what's going to happen.
Yeah, like when I tweeted that this show went from mediocre to must watch, I wasn't saying that this show's on like a Breaking Bad or Game of Thrones level. You know, it's going from, oh, is this show going to be good or not? You know, I'm not really sure where they're taking this. Now it's worthy of a watch. You know, they're 2 for 2 now, I think, after that episode.
2 of the strongest episodes, 2 of the strongest elements of the show really shine in this episode, and John Walker and Karli Morgenthau. I think up until this point, they did a poor job of humanizing a character like Karli. She just wasn't that interesting. Just using violence for the sake of being bad and evil, and that's the perception that the world is trying to build around her, and then Sam tries to humanize her. But I just thought her character was far more interesting in this episode. I love that scene between Sam and Karli.
You forget that Sam is Anthony Mackie is like a great actor, and he really shines in this episode, even with that dialogue, and even all the first 3 episodes where he's phenomenal.
He's becoming the Steve Rogers successor, right?
Yeah.
I think he's just nailing that role. And it's not only, like you said, his acting ability, but it's the character's ability to be a part of such a great situation and being able to handle that, unlike a John Walker.
Him just willing to sit down and talk to her and hear her out, that just says everything you need to know about Sam and why he is the worthy successor to the Shield, opposed to John Walker, who couldn't wait to get in there and just try to kill her.
And your point about John Walker's insecurity, he talks about his experiences in Afghanistan with Lamar, saying he was awarded the Medal of Honor, but that what they were doing didn't feel heroic. And this was the one chance I step into the shoes of Captain America. I'm a superhero. Karli's clearly a terrorist. She needs to be apprehended. It's his chance to do the right thing in his eyes. He just doesn't realize how in over his head he is. And he gets a taste of his own medicine throughout this episode, whether it's the super soldiers or the Dora Milaje.
No,
they're scary.
Well, real quick, before we go into...
Dora Milaje has jurisdiction anywhere they are.
Before we go into that, but just let's go back to Captain America and how he viewed Wanda in Age of Ultron.
Right.
He gave her the benefit of the doubt, and that's a very Captain America thing to do, whereas John Walker didn't and Sam did. But yeah, when they fucking did that, the 5-finger thing, Kill Bill style to his arm, and it just plopped off.
Bucky was tight. Cheap shot.
Oh, so you guys really didn't trust me?
You got pressure points.
You got to do that, though. Oh yeah, that opening scene with Bucky, man. That was a great scene. When she was trying to trigger him to make sure that he's good when they were back in Wakanda and he's fighting it back and he's
been amazing this whole season, and yeah, he just really shines in that moment.
The fighting's been on point. I love the choreography.
It's decades of this trauma. Just see the relief, the idea that you're finally free, that you have free will, your own control. There's so many things that have been lifted off of him in this moment, and he's obviously still dealing with it, but yeah, that was a great flashback. Great way to open the episode. And you see how close those 2 characters got.
What were your thoughts on John taking the serum? Were you happy that he took it? And were you
not now?
Yeah, not now. But when he first took it, though, were you guys happy that he got it and not maybe Sam or?
Well,
no,
I think they were.
Of course not.
Yeah,
no,
you don't want Sam to get it.
I
was liking John
for Sam the whole season.
I don't know. I was liking John. I was liking where he was going, and I wish he would have had this serum.
Well, it was obvious that they were setting up to him to be an antagonist. So when he took it, you just knew that was going to further.
Were they though?
I think so. I think it was pretty evident.
Yeah, it's evident that he just doesn't understand this world.
I don't think 100%. I don't think Sam needs the serum.
Yeah, you see it in this episode that he does better against the Dora Milaje than John, and he didn't have those weapons. He handles his own against the super soldiers. John still struggled with that.
It would be cool, but I feel like Sam, him staying to who he is would be his journey to becoming Captain America. He doesn't have to change to be Captain America. He deserves it the way he is now.
No, and they talk about aspiring to be a super soldier is inherently a supremacy ideal, that you can't separate the two. Mm-hmm. They combat that argument with Steve Rogers, and then Zemo's like, well, how many Steve Rogers are really out there? So I think Sam, he just has more of a respect for that type of power. That when that power is in the wrong hands, you can see how things just can go wrong. And it's John Walker's, like you said, it's a combination of his PTSD, his insecurity that leads him to take the super soldier serum. And it has some pretty bad consequences.
I like what they've done with the character. It's kind of a tragic storyline, you know?
Yeah.
And I think that, like we see with a lot of the better antagonists in any genre, it's having that development or that characterization that you can feel bad for them and at the same time realize what they're doing is wrong. And look at another antagonist is Zemo, and I thought he's just a vibe, man.
He's a firecracker.
If he wasn't a terrorist, he would be such a cool guy.
Facts. Pulled the Houdini on him in the bathroom, too.
Sitting there drinking, got his little face mask on. He's just chilling.
Yeah, the comedy that they've given him has been perfect. The fight breaks out, and he's just hanging back. He's just drinking his whiskey, enjoying it. Bucky was also enjoying it. Seeing John get his ass kicked. That is a good point, though, just to hit on that again. The Dora Milaje, imagine being T'Challa having to grow up training with those women. Like, you're just getting your ass kicked your entire life until you can finally throw hands with them. They're so fucking dangerous.
I thought they were going to use that to kind of ground John, too, though. Where, like...
Oh, well,
I mean, they did. They did.
No, they humbled him.
Yeah, but maybe not take the serum and, like, maybe listen to Sam and Bucky now and, like, they know what they're talking about and they know what they're doing.
It's just a nice comic book touch to the world that these normal people can be so strong against super soldiers and warriors and superheroes.
Did you guys like... So you said you liked where they went with Karli, right? With her trying to be... Because the point I'm trying to make is people say the acting wasn't, and the writing wasn't up to par. And I think...
She's kind of been bland up until this point.
Yeah, but the scene when she's trying to intimidate Sarah, I think the writing is great and the acting is great. But that's where people say that it wasn't that great, is because she looks like she's awkward. But I think that's just the way she is. Like, I don't think she wants to be this horrible person. Like Sam says, that I agree with what you're doing, just not the way you're doing it. And that, like, when she tries to intimidate Sarah, she's saying it like she doesn't want to be saying this stuff to her.
I think
she's surprised
this episode,
that it worked.
Yeah, that it definitely comes out as more believable in this episode. Kind of the awkwardness because of she feels like she's doing the right thing, but she has to make these really tough choices, like the choice to threaten Sarah to show Sam that, okay, maybe there's a possibility that we can negotiate something. But like I said, this episode, it's just she finally got a little personality to her.
Mm-hmm.
The back and forth that she has with Sam, like you said, when she has to turn it on to threaten Sarah, the conversation that she has with her friend who's killed by John Walker when he says, I didn't really believe in heroes until I met you. I thought you could be this new age Captain America for these new world problems that we have. I didn't expect to hear that.
But she even says it. It depends what side you're on. I am, essentially.
Right, and I like you mentioned with Wanda and the Hawkeye scene that they have in Age of Ultron, it was similar to that. He's trying to talk her down.
Yeah.
He felt that he did have her until Walker messed it up. The commentary there is great.
Mm-hmm.
Ask questions last, take names first. But yeah, I think this is where she kind of found her footing in the MCU, in this story.
I'm more curious on where they're going to go with John than Karli now, though.
Well, yeah, Karli,
definitely.
John, and you saw the power broker looming over everything, so...
Yeah.
And I do think a lot of the Flag Smashers, it is kind of surface level-ish. The commentary, other aspects of the show have been better, but with the Flag Smashers, it is like their attack in the previous episode when she just blows up the GRC center. It's like, it's the only language they understand. Okay. Yeah,
okay,
you're
you
evil.
Got kill 11 people.
Yeah, you're bad. I could see why John Walker doesn't like you.
Yeah.
I think that they could have did a better job. They could have done a better job adding more layers to the character, but this was the best example so far. Why they chose to make this character the central villain.
Do you have any theories on who the power broker is?
Well, the way Sharon Carter was talking in this episode, it's like she was talking for the power broker, but it's really her. Because she never... I think it's Sharon Carter.
Her?
Yeah.
The way that she was giving Falcon orders, like, you need to get this serum back or else the power broker's going to be pissed, a.k.a. me. She's just walking, like, with too much confidence and swagger.
Like, she does.
In the middle of
like
the
she
most...
runs that fucking country, dude.
Yeah. She's, like, in the middle of the most chaotic place. It's, like, nowhere on Earth. And she's just strutting, barking orders, Like, I can track this person, I have a driver. She's a power broker. I've also heard Justin Hammer. But I think that comes out of nowhere.
I hate Hammer.
Hey, man, maybe they
I
give
heard
him the Zemo
Thunderbolt
tribute.
Ross.
I don't think he would betray. I think he's done scheming. Someone mentioned that if you can't show up to Stark's funeral and then do some dirty ass shit like that.
Why not? Wanda did and
Can't
made and enslaved the whole town.
It can't
a
be
week
Zemo,
later.
can it?
Yeah, but Wanda's hot. You forgot about that.
I did.
More of a person. Thunderbolt Ross would just be like, I'm doing an asshole thing again.
Yeah.
Like, at least Wanda was trauma. Thunderbolt Ross was just like, I'm back in the game, baby. Like,
Y'all
this
miss me?
asshole again.
Y'all miss me?
Well, I think because Sharon Carter, in a way, could be a red herring when she gives Sam and Bucky the business about how they don't believe in superheroism, or Bucky's too invested in it, and it's all bullshit. But meanwhile, she's working behind the scenes to create a new serum. She could just be hiding her true intentions through all that tough talk. I don't know. Do you guys have any other theories?
It can't be Zemo, can it?
No. I love what they're doing with Zemo, though.
So do I.
I mean, you mentioned it.
He's a stud right now, man.
Yeah, every time he talks, he's perfectly written.
Mm-hmm. You just listen when he talks.
The way that he got the information out of the kids, perfect. The creepy lullaby, the creepy music, gaining his leverage.
He would be the one, too, to get it.
Where you get all those candies from?
The Turkish Delight, man.
Turkish Delight.
It's like a grandma.
Your Titi would be proud of you. As someone who's called his aunt their TT my entire life, I love that. Nice personal touch to humanize the character of Sam.
You should have said Nona.
I just say aunt.
Yeah. Your Titi.
Why do you sound like him?
Yeah, I could do the Zemo voice.
You kidding?
Right, and as soon as John Walker sees him, he's like, well, he's got the hunch, and of course it was right. They broke Zemo out of prison. I don't know, where the hell did Zemo go in this episode? He's got the...
Apparently he's got hideouts all over the country. So.
That is a great rivalry, Zemo and the Dora Milaje, because obviously they took it very personally. He assassinated their king, and they feel shame that they let their country down. Yeah, now he escapes again, and he's kind of just twiddling his thumbs and strolling along throughout this adventure. So who knows what he has up his sleeve? As Sam put it, he pulled an El Chapo in this episode.
A great line. That was a great line.
The humor's been pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's been steady.
Does
humor.
that line up? When was the El Chapo thing?
It's become a dated reference.
Yeah, I'm just trying to figure out if that happened during the snap or whatever. Who cares?
No, El Chapo's before the snap.
Okay. All right. Just making sure.
All right, Wikipedia.
I mean, I think he
The
did.
hell?
He's been pretty reckless since. But the first incident, I think Sam was around for that.
Maybe that's how he got out. He got snapped.
Right, yeah. Fucking Thanos.
He
Working for
really
the
just,
cartel.
even in the death, he
He
still fucked everything
decimated this
up.
world. You know what I don't like, though? In Endgame, when Paul Rudd wakes up, the world is a mess. And that's 5 years after. And the whole point in this show is that the world really came together and they built like a new society that people were really invested in. You don't see that in Endgame whatsoever. In Endgame, everyone...
Endgame was like annihilation happened to this.
Yeah,
to the
Joe
world.
Russo can't even go out to a date. Like, he goes out on a date and he cries instantly.
About the Mets.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, the Mets...
Didn't give you enough heartbreak when
Everyone had
everything was
PTSD,
normal?
man.
But yeah, I feel like it's not a big... it's more of a nitpick, right?
Yeah.
Because I like the ideas that they're presenting, but it doesn't necessarily add up with Endgame. But
Is there going to be a show that Marvel has that dates during the blip? Like, are we going to see any of this society coming together during the blip in any show? I wouldn't mind a show like that, or even in a time period. I really want to know what happened during the blip in America, really.
I think so. I think eventually, yeah.
They talk about it enough.
I think if somebody presents them a story that's worth it, that's worth telling, they can definitely go into that time span.
Yeah.
I like the little kind of hints at it throughout everything we've seen after Endgame. Kind of trying to put the pieces together yourself. But that would be an interesting story. Especially, I don't know, some of the characters that were still around during this trying to put the pieces back together. But
I'll tell you what, they really made Karli's fight more like reasonable or like believable. They really show you why she's fighting the way she's fighting. Because if you think about it from her side, they were left to no one. They had to fix society themselves. And they did. And then the snap happens and it just goes back to the way it was before the blip. I'd be pissed too. I mean, I wouldn't murder innocent people, but you see where her anger is coming from. And even Sam says it, like we said earlier. He's like, I understand your fight. It's just I can't be on board with the way you're fighting it.
Yeah, and you see the way that when Sam is questioning the townsfolk, that they all go into hiding.
Yeah.
How this new reality of everyone coming back and having all these internationally displaced people, that they are all lost. And they're doing their best to hold on to the groups that they created during that traumatic event. And, we see that, I can't remember the woman's name, but, when Karli eulogizes that woman, that was like a mother for her, a mother figure for everybody. It makes sense why they would turn to extremism or supremacy, because there's no real easy fix here. It's not something where you can literally snap your fingers like Tony Stark and you bring everyone back, a problem solved. But what about all the fucking thousands of problems you just created through that? So yeah, that's why that boy Thanos, man, fucking dick, changed everything. But these are the stories that you get out of it, and the commentary, like we said, it's very it hits home.
He did that though without the expectation that they would come back and fight too. I mean, I think Thanos says that in Endgame. He's like, what the fuck did he say? I think he said because he left he left people behind.
Right. He realizes that he just has to wipe out everything because
they'll just come back and
humanity
fix
will
it.
keep fighting. Yeah.
Yeah, we're a resilient group.
That
we are.
Yeah, if you remember, then they won't stop. That's man. Hell, I miss Steve Rogers after this episode.
Me too, bro.
I was literally getting emotional watching him stand up to Thanos' army before everyone comes through the portals. That's who you strive to be, and everyone kind of made that point on Twitter that Steve Rogers is what America strives to be. John Walker is what America is. I think that's an oversimplification, but you've got a point there.
You make fun of how cliche that is. He's standing up to Thanos because he's Captain America, but that's how he is. He does that for anyone.
Right.
That's not just because he's Captain America. It's because he actually wants to do it. It's him.
I always joke that when he's sizing up the army, he's like, "How can I pull this off?" He's got 35,000 troops. I'll focus on Thanos first, and then I'll handle the rest later.
I'll give Thanos a little frisbee.
Yeah. I've got the hammer. I got the frisbee. That's all I need.
Dude, I want to see when. I guess I don't know if they're teasing this, but when in every preview, Bucky and Sam are training with the shield. I want to know when they're gonna do that.
Well, Bucky,
are they getting his shield back?
He is ready to take that shield from him. And did you guys see the preview for episode 5?
No, I didn't.
Yeah,
I was just talking about a preview, just how they do
the trailers.
Yeah,
well,
trailers.
there's one for episode 5 where it's Walker, Bucky, and Falcon about to fight.
Really?
And John Walker looks at them and says, "You don't want to do this," and Bucky's like, "No, we do." It's very reminiscent of Civil War. They're about to jump this man like Bucky and Cap did Iron Man.
Wait, this is the next episode?
Yeah, next episode.
So who said that the next episode is gonna be one of the best?
One of the producers.
Yeah, I guess it could be.
I'm so excited. This is the first time this season I've rewatched an episode right after, where I just wanted to jump right back into it.
I hope they beat the fuck out of him.
They got to do it for America.
Yeah.
You don't want this. Shut up.
I never would have expected Marvel to drop a line about the Afghanistan war and about how maybe some of the actions that U.S. soldiers committed over there weren't heroic, touching on things like war crimes and excessive force, or the idea that maybe we shouldn't have even been there in the first place. And they relate it to superheroism in a way, that the world of superheroism is almost even more complex than that. Because John, like we said, John thinks he's coming into a situation where he's just a surefire good guy. I'm Captain America.
Yeah.
You know who I am? And then all of a sudden, it's a world that he doesn't even understand. Falcon, when he gives him the word of advice, John, take it easy, when they're with the Dora Milaje, Falcon is worried for this man.
Yeah.
These people will put a fucking spear through you if you, to touch them on the shoulder. Hey, how you doing?
Go for a handshake?
Yeah.
you know who you're talking
to?
Dude,
no. No, that's not what you do. He just doesn't know, and he's jumping headfirst into this.
Yeah.
So like you said, you just feel bad for the character. You hate the character. You don't want him to have that shield anymore.
Such a roller coaster of emotion for me, as I hated when I saw his face, and then I grew to like him because it looked like he genuinely wanted to do a good job, and then now he's just pissing me off now.
You just want to be Captain America.
Who wouldn't? You don't? Are you taking the serum?
No.
That's false, dude.
No, I will, but I'm not going to do anything with it.
Yeah, he already said that he would give it to someone like Joe Biden.
Would you?
No,
someone who's out there serving.
No, I'd give it to
Can you imagine if Joe Biden was jacked?
Yeah, you know what's like an eye opener?
I'll give it to like LeBron.
Oh my god.
Oh my God! Why? So we can get 10 rings?
Yeah. Actually, Judge
He's
just matched like fucking
62. Yeah,
He's
Judge
gonna play till 62.
Judge would
regardless.
still get hurt.
Did you
Take
guys
the
see
serum
this?
and
Did you
turn
guys
to Red Skull?
catch this? I think it was the second or first episode when
That's what I would take the serum and join the Yankees.
facts when they're on top of that bus, and that's when John and Lamar pull up, and John shoots one of the people. Do you remember that scene?
Yes.
That was just like oh shit, that's pretty crazy. He's shooting them.
People
It's
were
like-
complaining about that, but he shoots people in the first Captain America movie. He shoots people in the comics. He shoots people in Avengers. Captain America's a soldier. He shoots people.
You don't see Steve Rogers doing that. It was just like, oh wow.
Yeah, it's a throwback. In the movie, they did the scene in this episode where it's just Captain America and Lamar bursting through the door, and he's got the shield and the gun.
Yeah.
That's the same shot they do in the first Avenger when they break in. And they're like,
Yeah.
how are we going to do it? He's like, we're going to go through the front door.
I miss when Steve was gadded up.
Yeah, Steve got it up was
They shied away from that towards the
different
end.
era.
Yeah.
You can't be running around fighting Ultron with a gat. You can't pull the gat out.
Black Widow.
Right, yeah, Black Widow gets roasted for that. Steve probably thought, oh, that's not cool. Just got to use a shield in cool
He
ways.
puts the gun away.
Bucky uses a gun. He's a super soldier.
Hey, Falcon got better with the wings. I was saying a few episodes ago. Let me coach you. But he did the little burn move.
That was sick. When he
What
turned and
do you know
flamed him.
about wings?
Mostly just like bulldoze people with them. Like use them as bats.
He's bobbing and weaving with that thing though, in like the multi floors, like just flying up, hopping to the next floor.
Yeah, he's very
Mobile.
agile.
Yeah.
Anything we missed?
There's another point people made about the final scene. That guy told Karli Morgenthau that he grew up loving Captain America, that he used to look up to him, and look how he dies. And by the hands of the new Captain America, yeah, using the shield that you once looked up to. It's something that I never would have expected out of this show, and it keeps surprising me that it's going to the level of an Invincible or The Boys, where it's not shying away from these serious real life issues or issues that can be related to real life. So
It's
yeah,
the other side of a hero. You know, this could happen. It's not all fine and dandy with superheroes, man. They deal with shit.
and we saw this with the Punisher, with Daredevil, that they were willing to go with R-rated violence.
Yeah.
But that's kind of like canon to Jace at this point. That's not real within the MCU. So you can make the case that what John Walker did in this episode is the most brutal death or the most brutal killing of anybody in the entire universe. Seeing the blood like that, you rarely get blood in the MCU. The blood-stained shield, it's disturbing.
Yeah.
That you're not really used to when it comes to Marvel.
I'm so eager to see their reaction, man. Sam and Bucky's reaction when they see this video of him doing it.
Yeah, they saw the aftermath. Imagine they're like, you know what, you're one of us.
Welcome to the team.
This is what we needed.
This
a
was
little
the
edge.
test.
Little edge.
Samuel Jackson walked
We always
out.
thought Steve was a little bitch when it came to doing what needed to be done.
That had to suck for Bucky, realizing that the Dora Milaje was on his ass when they talked, and he's like, "Yep, you have 8 hours."
Yeah, they're great when they're on your side, but
Yeah.
a real pest when they want something from you. Because, like they said to John Walker, you know, we have jurisdiction wherever we are. They have some points here too, but I think they use Wakanda to provide some commentary on America, on kind of some of the problems of America's foreign policy and things of that nature. And you see two sides of the same coin when it comes to the Dora Milaje and John Walker. I think the Dora Milaje have a better reason
To be angry with him?
Yes,
Yeah.
This is an individual that literally assassinated their head of state. So even though they are bending the rules here, like they don't have jurisdiction in Latvia. Like you have two foreign powers just causing a mess in some random country.
I wonder what the final confrontation is going to be, because if you look at the different sides here, we have Bucky and Falcon, then you have Karli and the Flag Smashers, Zemo, John Walker, and the Power Broker. All of them are not aligned, and all of them kind of want to stop each other. So
Mecha Godzilla.
yeah,
A big bad?
who do they like?
No, it's yeah.
Is there a team up,
But
or is Karli going to join one side, or is John
Well,
Walker going to join the Power Broker to kind of even it out?
The Flag
wonder if
Smashers are
they-
with the Power Broker, though.
Not necessarily.
I wonder if we also have the power broker. I wonder if the Dora Milaje and Zemo just becomes its own thing, you know? Where they just Bucky and Falcon are like, sorry we broke them out, but yeah, you guys can take care of that.
That's on you.
We don't really at this point. I mean,
setting up the Zemo spinoff.
Yeah, setting up the Zemo spinoff, and I speculated that maybe he would end the show a free man, not a free man, but just on the run. Nobody knows where he is. But yeah, the John Walker stuff. I mean, we're going to have that confrontation, right? They teased it. John Walker still has the backing of the U.S. government.
I don't know after this though.
Well, it looks like
the U.S.
he was
government will back out of that so fast.
It looks like he was at like a military funeral for Lamar in the preview.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and he kind of reaffirms. I don't know who he's talking to, but he's like, "I'm Captain America." Like he's lying to himself, or he has to hype himself up.
He's in the mirror. Yeah.
Right. So, I don't know. Maybe the power broker kind of usurps the Flag Smashers as the true threat, right? Where the power broker is revealed to be something so sinister with what they wanted to do with the serum. It's tough. It's tough to see how it's going to end. But that's a good thing, right? Because I didn't really care about any of the rivalries before episode 4 and episode 3 to an extent. But now I'm excited.
Now you're on board.
Yeah, definitely.
What's upsetting is that if the Dora Milaje is in this, you got to believe that if Chadwick was still alive, do you think the Black Panther would be in this series?
I think there's a possibility of it.
That's upsetting.
He is the one who stopped Zemo from killing himself. So he made it a point that you need to stay alive and pay for your sins.
How crazy would that be if Black Panther was in this?
The Dora Milaje cameo it's almost more appropriate.
Yeah.
Because you'd imagine that this is the type of missions that they would undertake.
Yeah, the hitmen, yeah.
Yeah,
well, not the hitmen, but like the...
Yeah, they're like the CIA. Even though Nakia is more CIA. They're the King's Guard, but...
They do the...
They can do the King's dirty work as well. This isn't even dirty work. This is like, what the hell are you guys doing with this man?
What the hell?
Why are you breaking this crazy man out of jail? Did a whole movie about this. But it's cool to see a character like Io. Like we said, haven't seen much of her in the past. She's had her moments, and maybe she gets another throwdown here in the next 2 episodes. And Zemo is a character, every time that he needs to get out of a sticky situation, he manages to pull something out of his ass.
Yep.
Like in episode 3, they're all being gunned down, and all of a sudden he puts on that mask and starts flipping everybody off.
I didn't know he threw down like this.
It's Baron Zemo.
What the hell?
Super villain.
He catches bodies?
Yeah, dude. He's nice in the comics, so you would imagine he's got some plans here. He's going to hit up the butler.
Yep.
The Zemo mobile, maybe.
Just go back to being a Baron.
Yeah, just go back to your old life.
Oh, yeah.
What, Hydra?
Oh, he wasn't in Hydra.
No, he hated Hydra. As a Baron.
Yeah, just be rich.
Just a rich guy.
Why don't rich people just be rich?
I think some of them are.
Yeah, they're always trying to do something else.
Yeah, like fight crime. Dress as a bat. Dress as a bat. I can dig it. Name the movie. All right, guys, that is the end of our review for the Falcon and the Winter Soldier episode 4.
Justice League.
Oh. Justice League 2017 cut. Looking forward to episode 5. Looking forward to episode 6. And this took precedent over Invincible for me this week. So,
really?
Yeah.
Yeah, me too.
I was very hyped.
I liked Invincible this week.
Invincible, good show.
Invincible was fucking good too, yeah.
I appreciate the put on that.
Yeah, you like that?
Yeah.
What if I ever led you wrong?
Maybe like a few times, but you hit a lot.
Let me check my book. All right, guys, thanks for listening. Share it, like it. Join us next week. Bye-bye.
Am I on next week? Not going to answer?
Well, would you look at that? It's finally over. Hey guys, Beau Oliver here for one final send-off. Now, before I beg you guys to like and share this video, I'd like to thank our very special Patreon pledgers. We are very proud of the community we've been able to build here at NerdSoup, and it would not have been possible without our Patreon supporters. You guys are the true MVPs of this channel. Everything I've said, you keep the fridge full, you keep the lights on. There aren't enough words to thank you guys, but we'll do it anyway. Thank you. And we have a few videos coming up that have been suggested to us by Patreon pledgers: My Hero Academia, Neon Genesis Evangelion, and Full Metal Alchemist will be reviewed by Marissa, and yours truly, and Castlevania, which will be reviewed by Marissa and Aaron. And if you'd like to consider donating to our Patreon page, you can visit patreon.com/nerdzoop and check out some of the rewards we offer to our listeners. And really, we'd like to thank everyone who takes the time out of their day to watch our videos. Patreon pledger or not, your support is what keeps us motivated to keep giving the world our opinions on movies and TV shows and video games and pop culture, even though no one asked for it. We're still here, we're still yapping, and we hope you continue to join us. I'm Beau Oliver, and I support this message.